Happy Tuesday, everybody. Move your body. It's Tuesday. What's up? What did I do today? I worked out. It was very hot today. My husband made sopa. I didn't eat any of it, but it smelled good. I had leftover chicken. And we just vegged out watching movies and, prepare for work. The fun times of adult life, baby. My dog is still enjoying her pool. It's hot, so she just go lay her little body in it and come in the house all wet. But, her life is great. Other than that, y'all, nothing really exciting went on with me today, for real. I'm just going through these days, trying to enjoy them all, trying not to wait until my next vacation or this and that. I try really hard not to live my life like that, because it's like, you miss, the small things. So yeah, I try. But I do got a vacation coming up next month that I'm looking forward to. But until then, I just live for the weekend. And I live for being at home and all that. I'm trying to live in the day, in the moment, because that's how you go into depression, when you start like, I can't wait till next month, I can't wait till this. It's like, I hate trying to live like that. It sets you up for failure every time. But I don't want to be on a down thing, but I read something about Roy Jones Jr.'s son committing suicide today. And it's just so sad. Like, life is hard, but I just be wondering, what are we trying to get out of life? Because we are going to have some bad, sad moments, for sure. So what are we trying to get out of it? And I know mental illness is a real thing, and I know wanting to pull the escape hatch is a real thing, but what Glorilla say? That's why I love tomorrow. Even though the sun don't shine, that's why I love tomorrow. Y'all stay strong, whatever y'all going through out there, because like I said, I know life ain't easy at all. And I try hard to stay lifted up and stay positive. And I know everybody tries. So, y'all stay strong. I'm not trying to be all Debbie Downer, but that was on my mind because I read that. And I just hate when I read somebody commit suicide. It's so sad. But let's get into this news. Let's see. The DNC is launching a new effort to put abortion on the top of the mind of women across the country, as it's been 2 years since Supreme Court decision to overturn Roe vs. Wade. The FBI on Saturday offered a reward up to $10,000 of information leading to arrest of a conviction in connection with the Delhi, New Mexico wildfires. So somebody's intentionally setting these. Florida Panthers win the Stanley Cup for the first time. The family whose house was hit by this piece of space junk has announced that they're suing NASA. I want them to win. 2 years after the Dobbs decision overturning the federal right to an abortion, its impact and it's beyond matter whether abortion should be legal or not. A Senate staffer testified at a bribery trial that planning for Senator Bob Mendes' 2021 trip to Egypt and Qatar got weird after the Democrat directed that Egypt be included in the process. New Nassau County's legislature has approved controversial transgender athlete van that was endorsed by former Olympian Caitlyn Jenner, who's transgender. Caitlyn Jenner, not for those people. The families of 3 men taken hostage by Hamas, including a well-known Israeli American, have authorized the release of a video documenting the kidnapping near the Israel-Gaza border on October 7th. Breaking: WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange will plead guilty to violating the Espionage Act and avoid prison time in the U.S. New anti-squatter laws go into effect a week from Monday in both Florida and Tennessee, which will make it 6 states that have passed. Yeah, this squatters is out of control, so every state really should do that. I don't know why that it is legal. 22-year-old Haley Good, born a micropreemie saved by NICU nurses, has graduated with a nursing degree. Next month, she'll start working at the same NICU where she spent the first months of her life. Amen. Catastrophic flooding in northwest Iowa after days of relentless rain. Even with the sunshine, the disaster is only just beginning. Most people here don't have flood insurance. Yeah, see? Everybody be going through life, y'all. At least one person has died in the flooding in the Midwest. NASA has again postponed the troubled Boeing Starliner's trip home from the International Space Station as crews assess a series of helium leaks. Those leaks had also delayed the first crew launch of the ship multiple times. So they just out there floating. Let's see. Spacewalk called off after spacesuit coolant leak. Accomplished surfer and occasional actor Tamayo Perry, 49, died after sustaining fatal injuries in a shark attack off the island of Oahu in Hawaii. He died doing what he loved. These sharks ain't playing this year. Property owners nationwide are facing legal battles with squatters. Perkins, a chain that started 66 years ago as a pancake house, is getting an overhaul with a new company rebranding. Listen, Perkins is in it for the long haul. Treasure hunters say they recovered hundreds of silver coins from the iconic 1715 shipwrecks off of Florida. Kay Cox, a woman denied an emergency abortion last year, announced that she is pregnant again during the event, with Vice President Harris making 2 years since Supreme Court adopted decision. I feel so happy, but it's also very scary. Wolves attack and seriously injure a woman who went jogging in a French zoo. She was jogging in the zoo? This high schooler from Maryland, who's only 16, who doesn't even have a driver's license, could make U.S. Olympic history. He's like breaking all kind of records. Fugitive Bulgarian drug lord Evelyn Benev, one in several European countries, surrendered to law enforcement authorities early Monday. The Supreme Court on Monday rejected the appeal from Josh Duggar, a former reality television star convicted of downloading child sex abuse images. They said, no, Duggar, you didn't dug you a hole. Elon Musk had a third child with an executive at Neuralink, his brain implant company. Elon was just passing out his seeds everywhere in that company, wasn't he? Flooding on Blue Earth River caused rapid dam to fail on Monday morning in Minnesota. Princess Anne, the younger sister of King Charles III, was hospitalized on Sunday evening after suffering a concussion and with minor injuries. She looked like her mama. She looked like her mama. Another American arrested in Turks and Caicos over 9mm ammo and luggage gets suspended sentence of 33 weeks. Why y'all keep having the ammo in y'all luggage? Bangladesh deadliest executioner died Monday, a year after he was released from prison, where he hanged some of the country's most notorious serial killers. CDK Global is now calling a cyber attack that took down a software platform for its auto dealership clients a ransom event. So that mean it ain't over yet. If they didn't name their ransom, then that means it ain't over. Surgeons at Northwest Medicine performed a kidney transplant on an awake patient, making a first for the Chicago-based healthcare center. Man, I don't know if I'd want to be awake. A 64-year-old skateboarder, Julie Oyama, isn't slowing down anytime soon. This fall, she's heading to World Skate Games in Rome. 64. Alright, y'all, I think we're caught up because it's starting to repeat a lot. Let me see what I liked on here. So this dog brung the owner a wasp nest. Just literally sat it next to him. That's crazy. This guy says that we really are the same color on the inside. That's just crazy and disgusting at the same time.
Tomorrow, and this is what the sun looks like today. The government has spent over €1 billion trying to clean the sun before the Paris Summer Olympics that start in 1 month, and it's not working. So Parisians have set up a website telling everyone to go poop in the sun tomorrow on June 23rd, which is when President Emmanuel Macron and Paris Mayor Anne Hidalgo both said they'd go swim to prove it's clean. The website even has a calculator so that people who live far from Paris can know when they need to poop in the river for it to flow down to Paris at noon tomorrow. But even today without the poop, the sun looks awful. It's even more green in person, and I saw people dumping garbage into it. Apparently they've done multiple tests, and the level of bacteria in the sun is 3 times higher than other open water swimming events allow. However, the Olympic Committee says there's no reason to doubt the swimming events for the Olympics won't take place in the sun this summer, and they're confident the swimmers will be able to use it. So, I don't know.
I don't know, if I'm an Olympic swimmer and I see a viral video of people pooping in the water, I'm probably not about to swim in it.
From the car, I was just getting nostalgic, taking a little stumble down memory lane thinking about the COVID epidemic. Remember that? When some jackass ate a bat and we had to shut down the world, remember? When you had to get nostril raped to get on an airplane, the good old days. You had to get the vaccine. There was a mandate. There was a vaccine mandate, a mask mandate. And I'm an idiot. I thought mandates were something gay guys went on. But that's not homophobic. I'm just an idiot. I just got the latest booster, actually. It was heroin, and I loved it. And if they put heroin in all the vaccines, I'd be very well vaccinated. Moving on. You know who didn't get the vaccine? Charlie Sheen. Famously was an anti-vaxxer, which I find hysterical because there is not a drug on this planet that he hasn't injected into his veins. So he trusts Pablo Escobar more than Fauci. Interesting. What else? Remember? It was a respiratory virus, so I knew that every morning I would wake up and I would do a series of deep breaths through a bong, and then I would forget all about the pandemic and I would have waffles, and that's just how I survived. The wife and I are still social distancing. I think the technical term is restraining order, but we made it through, and I'm wearing a mask right now, but I wear it as a thong, and I'll tell you something, I don't feel safe at all. I don't know how you ladies do it because it is splitting the twins. Stay healthy, everybody.
A mandate. Oh my gosh. So Timothy Nielsen stalked an 8-year-old after seeing her crafting channel on YouTube. Her parents shut it down immediately and called the authorities. They were dismissive and said it wasn't a big deal. Then he showed up on their doorstep demanding a date with a 12-year-old.
Meet some girl from the internet for a date. I've been after her for 5 years and I haven't heard nothing from her. If I find her one and if not, I can leave. I just want a no answer or a yes answer. Yeah, well, going door to door isn't going to find her. What am I going to do? Sit out here, wait for them to pull out of the driveway? Well, you don't even know where she lives. I know, I do, but I had my cell phone taken away from me. Like, I was sleeping over there by the Walgreens. Okay. And that night, someone took my cell phone from me. So, I don't know. So what's your long-term plan here? Because long-term plan? We got several complaints about you coming up, knocking on people's doors, soliciting. That's not right, man. That's why I'm here. I'm not driving around. That didn't happen. I'm just saying if I can get a yes or no answer for her, I would leave. You know? I'm going gonna venture to say if you haven't found her yet, it's probably a no. How are you to say that, man? I don't know what address. Well, because you don't know where she lives. You don't even know who she is. Are you? Are you from Oregon? I am from Oregon. Oh, you got this guy's got. You got to take this guy in. Why? He's been harassing my 12-year-old daughter online. That's all it's is? Yeah. Yeah. You're to forbid me? Little children? My name is Dad's Little Children. Oh, God. This... Oh, my God. The FBI is involved in it, so... The FBI? You know what? All right, hey, stop talking to him. All right, step down here on the street, get off this property. All right, I'll be with you in a second, sir. Yeah. All right, so there's your answer. This girl you've been talking to is 12 years old. You're obviously an adult, so that conversation... Forbid them not! She's 12 years old. That is her parent. He will forbid whatever he chooses. Am I clear on that? 12 is very old. I was looking for a 6-year-old. All right, that's disturbing. You know what? Holy and profane, I'm holy. And so is my church. The Church of I Am Christ. I am Christ. What are you, you need to, what are you, homeless?
This man need to be locked up, period. The whole video is weird, but the fact that they even entertained this conversation after he said he was looking for a 6-year-old, Morgan Wallen's Let Me See That Thong takes panties to the face. Justin Timberlake not under the influence in viral concert video. His eyes are bucking though. Jennifer Lopez flies commercial. Jenny from the main cabin. Y'all just don't let them rest. 50 Cent surprise. I'm headlining Invest Fest 24. I talked about this. Roy Jones Jr.'s son dies by suicide. Ben Affleck angrily chews out paparazzi photos upon leaving J-Lo's house. He about sick of y'all. Feds are recommending criminal charges against Boeing. Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk riders have to walk down a coaster after a medical emergency. Harvey Mason Jr. Night Like Us fair game for Grammys open to a disc category 2. JJ Redick scraps podcast with LeBron after taking Lakers job. Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan reunite on Freaky Friday. First Superman set pics. We'll never get a permanent Superman again. Country star Shabuzi hands out 111 shots of Jack. Oh my good lord. Somebody top a shot of whiskey. Yeah, that's all I know about the song. Yeah, y'all. Ain't nothing else popping on that. Let's see what else we got on here. U.S. bankruptcy court trustee moves to shut down Alex Jones InfoWars. AI company behind Baby Al Drizzy is sued by record labels for using artists' work without permission. The Chrisleys might be getting out of prison. Should actors be paid more for performing traumatic scenes? I mean, that is a part of the contract, I thought already. Alright, I think we're caught up. Let's see what's on Reddit. Which real life cheat codes do you know? Let me know. Worked at a call center for a credit card company. If you ever get hit with that late fee, politely call customer service and ask is there a possibility of getting it waived. We didn't have to ask our supervisor for anything, just pushed it through. I know, that is true. I just hate calling them for that. I hate calling them, period. Talk positive about people behind their backs. Don't put who an email will be sent to until after you have it ready to send, so you can't accidentally send unedited or unfinished emails. Have friends generationally older and younger than yourself. When reheat rice in the microwave, put a little water in the bowl so it's fluffy again. Be polite. Listening is better than talking. Clean while you're cooking. To learn something, repeat it to yourself 3 times on a day, you learn it. Two more times on the next day, and 1 day after that, and you'll know it most of the time. As a management consultant, to the best pieces I've ever given, never be afraid to be the one to end the call, and don't sell past the close. Automated phone systems don't understand nonsense. If you speak to a person, answer prompts with things like chicken nuggets or shoelace, it will assume an error is in the language and route you to a person. So I gotta just say chicken nuggets. Managers, give your employees the credit they deserve for everything they do, especially talk them up to your bosses. Cutting out daily drinks with sugar like sodas and frappuccinos really helps with weight loss if you do nothing else. When your alarm goes off in the morning, do not think, only react. If you sit up immediately and start getting out of bed, it becomes a reflex. No more lying in the bed for hours. I normally, if I got an alarm, I do hop right up. Never commit a crime during the commission of another crime. Example, if you're transporting illicit substances, don't go speeding around in a car with a busted taillight and expired tags. If you have a hobby, relegate 1 day a month at least to doing something you really love. The ducks at the park are free. Diarrhea is the best excuse to get out of anything. No one will question it. Get enough sleep. That's hard. But these are pretty good. If it takes more than 5 minutes, do it right away. I like the one where you do the part of your workout that you hate the most. Like if it's weights, do those first. Or if it's cardio, do that first. If you're forced into a fist fight, what are the fundamentals of fighting in 5 minutes? You gotta pick up something and knock them out. Don't fight fair, right? That's just A1 advice right there, especially in today's society. Nobody fights fair. Assuming this is a serious fight, the end result is probably going to involve jail and hospital, so if you can get away, get away. Try to fight where ain't no cameras. Punch beyond your target. If you aim at the nose, you basically tap the nose. If you aim at the back of their head, a lot more will be transmitted. There you go. Ladies, take them earrings out, put some Vaseline on your face, and tie your hair up. If you get a chance, run. Walk them out to avoid a fight, but if needs be, fight like the third monkey on the ramp to the ark. It's starting to rain. What's the worst dating experience you've had this year? I met a girl on Tinder and agreed to meet in a cafe. When we met, she was on her phone the whole time, but at the moment of silence, she said that her stomach hurt and farted very loud. Paid for herself and left. I've never laughed so much in my life. Dang. She's a legend. Went on a first date with a guy from college. We ended up going to Chili's for dinner, and as I'm coming out the back of the restroom after our meal, he seems nervous and telling me to hurry up to his car. I thought he was just being goofy. As we were driving away, he tells me he dined and dashed. I was mortified and told him I would have paid if there was an issue. He just laughed and kept driving. Often experienced an awful person. I went on my first date since breaking up with my ex about 5 months before. Went for pizza, was escorted to the table, sat down with my date, and my ex was sat down to the table next to us. I then went to singles event not long after. My ex was there again. Y'all dating the same people. I took a girl out, asked her what her interests were. She said, don't have any. Any hobbies? No. What do you do besides anything? Not much. Are you enjoying your course? I don't really like talking about my university. Followed along a comfortable silence. She didn't want to be there. And in casual conversation, she talks about her roommate a lot. No problem, normal comment. The drinks start flowing and I hear more about the roommate. They're real close. A bit much, but okay. By the end of the day, properly buzzed. It turns out her roommate is actually her husband. I got into a long-term relationship, and maybe 6 months later, I started feeling comfortable dating again. Around that time, I struck up a conversation with a woman in a line at Starbucks and ended up asking her out. It was my first date post-breakup, and she said yes. We met up a week later, and in the middle of the date, she told me that I was going to meet her friends with her boyfriend because we both like snowboarding. I didn't know what to do, so I kind of smiled and nodded along. I just assumed I hadn't made it clear enough when I asked her out that I didn't wanted it to be a date. That I wanted it to be anyway. That's when when she started her sales pitch. It was a pyramid scheme for energy drinks. So she invited you out just to sell you something. I bartender at the Craft Cocktail Bar in my town, quite a nice place. I don't know why. This is too long. I don't even know why I started reading that. Haven't been a single bad experience all year. Haven't been on a date all year. I went on a date with a man who told me he was married in the middle of the date. Met a girl on Tinder. Her dad just died the first time I met her. She asked me to go to his funeral. Tang. Had a woman laugh at me when I asked her out. A no would have been preferable. I discovered that the guy I had been seeing for 6 months had lied to me about being single. Turns out he had been in a relationship for 6 years. Crazy. The girl that farted on the date is still legend. Am I the a-hole for kicking out my girlfriend after she called me a creep over my preference? My girlfriend is 23 and I'm 25. We've been together for 2 months. We have been talking for another 2 months before getting together. We are still learning about each other, and this was a very fresh relationship. We were talking about preferences. The topic of pubic hair came up, and she told me that she prefers if guys shave their balls. Well, that's what I do anyway. She then asked me what I think about women shaving, and I told her I prefer if women are shaved down there. I don't mind hair at all, but it's just nice to touch if it's shaven. She flipped out on me and told me I was a weirdo, that all men are creeps for even liking it bald. I was very confused because she keeps herself shaved. I didn't even want to fight about it, and I told her it'd be okay, or it'd be best if she just left. She left and sent me a message apologizing for going off. I just ignored it. Ever since, she's been spamming me, occasionally insulting me. Am I missing something? Was that something I said? I mean, no. She clearly wanted to fight with you. Not the a-hole. She's a hypocrite for saying she likes shaved balls, but gets mad at you when you say you like a shaved cooch. Am I the a-hole for not visiting my ex in the hospital after he tried to take his life? I'm 20 and my ex is 20. and we were together for 5 years. We were best friends since middle school and began dating in high school. The last few months were difficult because I had to focus on my dissertation exams and internship. He also has to relocate to another city for 8 weeks for his internship. When his work ended, instead of coming home, he and his friends decided to go on a 4-day boys trip. During those 4 days, he rarely texted and never contacted me. Then on the last day, one of his friends shared an Instagram story about them being in a strip club and him making out with one of the girls. Needless to say, I broke up with him. I never became angry with him or anything. I suppose I just felt numb. He begged my forgiveness, claiming it was a drunken mistake. I forgave him, but I was unwilling to give a cheater another chance. For a month following the split, he would call me every day and say he wanted to hear my voice, yada yada. If I didn't answer my phone, he would tell me that he was going to commit himself and that I was to blame. Well, I didn't answer his phone the day before yesterday because I was too busy at work, and he decided to take his life while under the influence of alcohol. Fortunately, he was found and the wound was not deep, so he is doing well now. His friends keep calling and telling me to go visit him in the hospital, but I refuse, primarily because I'm scared. I feel extremely terrible, guilty. First of all, you don't need to visit him. He needs therapy. That's what he needs. And then you need to apologize because he threatened to kill himself because you broke up with him. Somebody said, no, this is highly manipulative. You are not his therapist. It's called a breakup for a reason. Yeah, you should have just blocked his butt. You was nice already for taking his calls. Alright, let's get into these story times. So it was a family of raccoons that just fell out of these people's ceiling. And people were like, I hope they're okay. Man, I want to know what damage they fat butts did.
Okay, last time talking about this story because y'all keep asking me about it, I'm going to go ahead and give it to you. So this story happened back in 2016, I think. I know I was like a senior in high school, so it had to be 2016. Alright, so I was really good friends with this one girl. We were like really close. My mom had already told me like she does not think this girl is my friend, but I wasn't listening. I thought this girl was my friend. So we did not live in the same town. She lived like an hour away, so we would drive to see each other like on the weekends and just hang out and all this stuff. Now, here's some backstory so that you don't get confused on where I'm going with this, okay? Me and the girl, we both were cheerleaders, but she ended up not making the team one year, and I made it. So she told me she was not going to come support me if she didn't make the cheerleading team because I made the cheerleading team, and we're in 2 different districts in 2 different cities, okay? Now, I made homecoming court my senior year. She told me, because her homecoming announcement was a week before mine, she told me if she does not make homecoming court, she's not coming to support me at my homecoming. If I get announced on the homecoming court, she's not coming to visit me. So now that you know a little background on the things that she used to do and say, now you kind of see where I'm going with this. Okay, so fast forward. My parents ended up buying me a car, and they surprised me with it. I was so happy. All my other friends were there. They were super happy. Like, they jumped in the car. We were all really, really excited. She got in the front seat of my car and was like, I don't like this kind of car. Why do y'all like these type of cars? This car is ugly. And then y'all, fast forward a month later, she invited me to the beach with them. She told me in the car, oh, I had my dad go make me test drive a car just like yours because I really like it and I really wanted it. So as far as like clothing, y'all remember those shoes, Chacos? Okay, I used to have some of those. If you don't know, look them up. Okay, those used to be the shoes back in the day, okay? Especially in South, hometown type of living. Yeah, we loved them. Anyway, so I had a couple pairs of those. She was like, those shoes are hideous. That is ugly. Why do you guys like those ugly shoes? And guess what? 2 weeks later, she called me. She was like, hey, what's the name of those shoes again? I really like.
No. No. Anyway, they're not friends. We didn't need all these examples, love. I'm glad you figured it out.
Texas City continued found the other bath for the shower. Excuse me, hello, how you doing? Goddamn. Texas City continued.
Guy found a squatter in his shower.
To the index, and we have a new warning tonight about counterfeit weight loss drugs. In an open letter, Eli Lilly, the maker of Mounjaro and Zepbound, saying they are concerned about the dangers of fake or compounded versions of their popular drugs that are being sold online. The company says their real products are not sold on the internet. They have purple injection buttons. They are federally trademarked with logos, a gray triangular cap, and their own logo as well. To the index, and we have a new warning.
Who knew? Because I see an ad for it every day.
This sign on the door says it all. No trespassing. If you try and enter, we will press charges for violation of expectation of privacy. This sign is on the front door of Fazana Rahman's Airbnb dorm rental. She owns it, but says she can't get access to it.
Now they're refusing to leave until there's an eviction order. I think they're just trying to gain time to stay there for free.
Because they haven't paid.
No.
This all started when her most recent guest did make a long-term rental reservation through Airbnb and checked in on October 25th. The guest did pay through Airbnb monthly, and you can see on the reservation details the checkout date was May 24th. When her cleaning lady went to clean the rental,
They answered the door and they said, no, we haven't moved out. He said, should I come tomorrow? And they said, no. Don't come back.
Farzana went to the rental, this time, she says, with police. The next morning, still not gone, and this handwritten no trespassing sign on the front door that states, we will vacate the property when you filed the proper paperwork with the civil magistrate for an eviction, for we are legal residents of this home.
This is my place and I'm counting on this income. My son is in college. I'm a single parent.
Farzana contacted Airbnb for help as she already had another long-term renter booked through Airbnb ready to move in. She says Airbnb has not been helpful.
They're sending me messages as, please get help for your safety and get whatever legal help you have to get them out.
I reached out to Airbnb several times. No one got back to me. Airbnb does have on their website this section devoted to things to consider before hosting monthly stays. Airbnb warns hosts who have guests who stay for a month or longer, you may not be able to remove a guest without going to court. Attorney Maya Davis with James Scott Farron says when guests stay longer than 90 days, it's typically considered a holdover tenant.
The longer they stay, the more rights they develop, so the quicker you can act and get them out of there, the better it is.
She suggests hosts' first step is to call police when a guest won't leave, and if police won't take action, you need to file with the courts right away.
You may have to file what we call the summary ejectment, which means that you want this person out, but you have to go through the court proceedings. So at that point, you have to give notice, you have to file and serve papers, you have to appear in court and get the court to grant that before you just remove someone from the property.
We did.
That's just crazy, man.
One thing my besties forgot to remind me about is traveler's diarrhea. Yes, let's talk about it. On the last day, we got hit like Earth, Wind, and Fire. Drop it in the comments if you ever experienced that. One thing my besties forgot to...
So I've never experienced that, and they were saying don't add ice, and people were saying how they don't use the water to brush your teeth. Now, when I first went to Mexico, I used bottled water and all that. I was like super paranoid, but I've never had any issue, knock on wood, but no, I've never had any issue with that, so...
Excuse me. Did you like the movie? I did. Well, I didn't because you didn't shut the fuck up.
I really feel like saying this to a million people when they come out the movie because y'all just ruined the movie.
For the girls who got a train ran on them in high school, since we all grown now, what was the sales pitch for them to get you to say yes?
Okay, let's talk about it because I was one of those girls that had a train ran on her. I really was. And, I mean, it's not anything that I'm proud of, but if no one else is going to speak on it, I'll speak on it. First of all, to answer your question, there is no sales pitch. There's actually no discussion at all. And of course, I can only speak for myself, but I guarantee you majority of the girls that ended up in this situation can relate to it. You're hanging out with a guy that you like and you think likes you. And of course, his friends are around, but you're not paying him no mind. It's just you and him. Y'all go into a room and you begin to become intimate. And the next thing you know, you look up and there's 4 or 5 guys standing around you waiting for their turn. And there was no discussion, there's no asking, there's just grabbing, there's just touching, there's just inserting. And of course you have one of 2 options. You can jump up and say, get off of me, or you can go along with it. And I was just someone who just went along with it because I did not know what else to do. I don't care how many talks you have with your parents about sex and relationships and all that. Nobody is telling you about that situation. Nobody is saying, oh, there might be a time where you're becoming intimate with a boy and all his friends think they can have a turn. Then once you've done it the one time, you start to think, well, why should I even say no? Because I've already done it before. And it just becomes a pattern. You know, I saw a lot of people in those comment sections kind of making light of it and joking and be like, oh, I asked my cousin and now she's mad at me. The reason that she's mad is because that's probably something that she put in the depths of her mind. I know I did. I try not to think about it. I try not to remember it. And really the only reason I'm talking about it is because that video just like triggered me so bad. And I said, I have to speak out if I'm going to be the only one to speak out. That shit is not fun. And that shit like really fucks with your brain, because then it's like, okay, did he ever really like me? Is this what he needs to like me? I was 14 years old. And that was literally my second sexual experience ever. And there's a lot of trauma in my life as well, you know, SA as a child and all sorts of things, being the fat girl that no one ever thought was pretty, and so this guy thinks that I'm pretty and blah, 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 and it's like, y'all, please, show a little bit of compassion, show a little bit of empathy, like, no one's just running out to do that shit for fun.
I mean, it's a sad story, for sure. I'm glad she's getting her story out. I didn't think that she had to, but she said if nobody was gonna say it, she was gonna say it. But my advice is never go over a house when you're the only female. That's just a red flag. When I see females hanging with one female hanging with a bunch of dudes, it's just never anything good behind it, honestly. Like,
last week I told you all the story of the train that was ran on me. And it's very, I feel like it's a situation that if you've never been in that situation, you can't really say what you do, and I think it's very, I don't even know the word, but so many people are acting like they don't get it, and they're like, well, you never said no. I also never said no when my mom's husband started touching me. And I just saw someone say, well, men aren't mind readers. I do not have to be a mind reader. I don't think you need to be a mind reader in this situation. I think it's just something that's not okay for someone to be intimate in the dark, lights off, and you just come into the room and start doing what you want to do. And there's been no discussion at all. I never said no. If they had asked me, I would have said no. So many young women have a similar story to mine.
it's very true.
My honest opinion is
I probably watched at least.
Alright, y'all. I didn't want to end on a train, but that's just how it's time to get off. This is a terrible joke. I know it is, but I just couldn't resist because my mind is just crazy like that. Listen, y'all, pray for y'all young people. Like I said, girls, ladies, whoever, if it's just you and a bunch of dudes, it's never a good idea. Just you being a one of anything is not a good idea because something bound to happen. If you come in the room and one of these things is not like the other and you the only one, I think you gotta go. You gotta go. Whatever the situation is, don't stay. Listen, y'all, tomorrow we'll be back. Pray for our youth. Pray for the people that have been through trauma. Pray for everybody. I pray for everybody that's going through, y'all. Pray for people that's going through floods and losing their houses and wildfires. There's just so many things going on and so many people dealing with so many things. And, you know, we have to laugh to keep from crying. No, I'm gonna keep praying for y'all. Y'all pray for me. We'll make it through this again. We'll be back tomorrow. Toodaloo.